Now, in every business, there's something called variable expenses and fixed expenses. Fixed expenses are things that you have to pay no matter what. If any customer comes into the store or any service is offered, it doesn't matter, you have to pay this expense. A fixed expense would be something like rent. You have to pay for the facility whether a customer comes in or not. If you're starting a landscaping business, you have to pay for the lawnmower whether you have a customer or not. You have to pay for insurances and licenses whether you have customers or not. So these are fixed expenses. These are things that you have to pay, and there's not necessarily any income that comes in directly to offset them. Variable expenses are expenses that you pay that are based directly upon consumption or directly upon customers that you have. If you have a hot dog stand, a variable expense would be hot dogs, because you don't have to buy any hot dogs unless you have customers. Except your first order of hot dogs. I wouldn't encourage you to open a hot dog stand and not have any hot dogs there. That would be definitely a defeating of your business and not a good potential for future success. Things like napkins and hot dog buns, those are expenses directly related to the selling of your product. So this is called a variable expense. And every income that you have come in, every hot dog that you sell, every product or service that you sell, there's something called a contribution margin. So let's say you have this hot dog stand and you've worked it out that your variable expenses are $1 a hot dog. That means everything it costs you to sell a hot dog costs $1. The hot dog, the bun, the napkin, the ketchup, the mustard. Some people put sauerkraut on hot dogs. I think that's disgusting. But if you incorporate that into your expenses, your variable expenses, that's $1 a hot dog. So if you sell hot dogs at $2 a piece, that means $1 goes to your variable cost and $1 goes to your fixed expenses. So let's say your fixed expenses were $500 a month. That means you've got $500 worth of bills to pay no matter how many hot dogs you sell. So if you sell 500 hot dogs at $2 a piece, that means that $1 of each one of those hot dog purchases goes to paying the variable cost, and $1 from each hot dog goes to paying the fixed expenses. So at that point, you break even. So you did all this work, you sold 500 hot dogs, and you made $0, but your expenses are paid. So when you sell hot dog 501, that means the dollar pays the variable cost. The dollar now becomes profit because your fixed costs are paid for. So you have to analyze what's my break-even point to determine how much should I sell. Maybe you look at that scenario and say, you know what? I need to sell my hot dogs for $3 a piece. So $1 is the variable cost. Now $2 becomes the contribution that goes to paying the fixed expenses or your profit. So at selling 500 hot dogs a month, if each hot dog's now contributing $2, that's $1,000 that's contributed towards your fixed expenses. Remember, those fixed expenses were $500. So now you take the $1,000, you pay that $500. Now you've got $500 that is profit. So when you're looking at your break-even point, you can look at a couple different factors. What are my variable expenses and how can I lower them? What are my fixed expenses and how can I lower them? What's my price? And of my price, what's my contribution margin? So we worked up this scenario and you say, I want to sell my hot dogs at $3 a piece. Well, nobody else is selling hot dogs at $3 a piece. Everybody else is selling them at $2. So you may price yourself out of the market there. So you have to look at that and say, how does my price compare to other people? And also, how many hot dogs do I think I could sell? Maybe you say, if I sell them at $2 a piece, I could sell 1,000 hot dogs. So selling 1,000 hot dogs at $2 a piece, remember, $1 is the variable cost. $1 is the fixed or the contribution margin. So now you got $1,000 that comes in to pay the $500 fixed expenses, and now you have a $500 profit.